Oh, Pepe here. So it has been a while because I took the whole engine apart. All those bags are, every part with their bolts, and I took pictures before I took each part of where the bolts go, and some parts, I will, leave them with the bolts there so I don't lose them. Or the order where they go, because some parts have longer bolts than others in certain areas. So right now I'm cleaning the block. It had mice and rat living here, so there's a bunch of that down there. Yeah, so the whole block is basically empty, only the crankshaft is there. I have been cleaning all that. I took these off with a bit of heat, and then I juggled it in. These marks, I don't know, seem to be machined. I'm not sure. Anyway, but yeah, I took that off. I'm using this to rotate the cylinders, and I basically using a Scotch-Brite. So this stuff, the green one, WD-40, and I'm getting rid of all the carbon. There was carbon here. The cylinder heads, except for this one, you can see those black spots there, but it's not pitted, or well, there is some ridge there. There is like you can barely, there is something there. I think that this engine was sitting for too long, and this basically got a little bit of rust there. Basically, there is a little bit of something there. We'll try to get rid of it, but this is the only cylinder that had any marks there. And but you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but the crosshatch is there. You can see it in all the cylinders. We'll try to zoom it there. You see the crosshatch pattern of the honing when the engine was built. And yeah, there's no ridge here, not even in this one. There's no ridge. There was a carbon buildup, which I started cleaning already. Just a Scotch-Brite, put a little bit of pressure with WD-40, and leave them soaked in, and this will come off. I mean, a few passes, and I mean, this took me, I don't know, 30 seconds on this cylinder. That one, on this, it takes just, I don't know, I said 2 minutes per cylinder to clean them off. But you can see there's like a pretty good crosshatch pattern there. No lip, nothing, no marks of any kind. Super smooth here. You can use your nail to feel it. That's why I can feel here, in these black spots, that's rust. I can tell, and I can feel that there's something there. Although that's if I lower the cylinder, you see there's no more marks anywhere, and there's no straight marks going from this down the cylinder wall. So that's why I think that this engine was sitting with. And maybe this is I think that this bolt was loose, and like I said before, there was I wasn't losing much coolant, but I had bubbles in the reservoir. So my guess, since the head gasket looks fine and the heads look fine, although they are in the machine shop to be tested, it could have been that this is the one that was loose. This bolt was loose, and it was sucking a little bit of coolant, and in the compression stroke, when going up, it will go through under the head gasket, and basically fill up with air here, and then of course this is a water jacket, so then that will go to the coolant reservoir, and that's why the bubbles shoot up. That's my guess, and I'm thinking that maybe that's the reason why this guy has a little bit of rust here, because it was sitting for too long. with some coolant in it, I guess. I don't know. That's my guess. Or moisture got in while sitting, but yeah, because it's the only cylinder that has those very, it's like super light marks. It's just very lightly, and there is a mark. You can see the decoloration there. But like these cylinders compared with all the other engines I looked, they look brand new to me. I guess that all my cars are a piece of shit. I don't know. Anyhow, so that's how you do it, and you need to go through it, and this is still head gasket material that is there, and you will get to a point where it will look like this with the Scotch-Brite. This is, I don't know, like 7-10 passes, and with WD-40 and clean it up, and then you blow air through all the holes, so make sure that the bottom of the engine, all these oil passages, they go all the way through them. So I blow some air to clean them up, and at some point I will put some oil in the oil passages to make sure, and then blow it again, and to make sure it's all lubricated, because some of the head gasket material will go inside of these holes, but you don't want that in the crankshaft, so that's why you need to blow air down the hole, so you make sure that all that shit goes out. You don't want that later in the engine. But yeah, so this is looking good. The surface of the engine looks fine. So yeah, just keep cleaning. I will put a straight edge at some point and fill gauges to see if this for whatever reason is not straight, but I'm basically waiting for the machine shop to tell me that there was something wrong in the heads, on the head gaskets, and that's why I had that problem. But for now, what I want to do is clean it all this area really well. Then I will tape all this, and I will clean all this area too, which is soaking now right now, so I can clean all that mouse poo crap that is still there. And I will paint it black. I bought some paint, and I'm going to degrease it because the paint is peeling off here. You can see here, see, it's peeling off. So I'm going to scratch a little bit, degrease it, and paint it so it looks nice. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. So these are the rockers. The machine shop asked me to remove the rockets because the rockers will put pressure in the valves and in the valves, and then it will push them down, and when they resurface they can hit the valves and stuff like that. So this is a main seal, I think it is front, back, front. See, no, that's front, this is back. That's where the oil pump is, I think. So yeah, all these surfaces have to be cleaned up. All this gasket had to come out. Not gasket, RTV. The manual calls for RTV instead of gaskets in many places, like this place, for example, where the oil pan goes, or the sump pump, I think it's called. And so I have the heads and the oil pan and the sump pump all in the, I think it's called sump pump, in between the oil pump and the engine block. That's all in the machine shop, and they're going to wash it and clean it. For the $30 I get all the stuff clean, and the rocker seems to be fine. Nothing wrong with them. I mean, you can tell wear marks are there, you see, but nothing serious. It's not decoloration or anything like it will tell you that it's like a dark color that it burned out or anything. So they look pretty good. I have to, of course, clean them up, and the lifters too, and then which are under here, this ones, I think they're called lifters. Oops. Yeah, these guys here. So see these guys, and they have a like a, I don't know if this is a, no, that's not a rubber seal. I don't think it's a rubber seal. I don't think so. I don't know, but they have to be cleaned up. The manual calls for I mean, it tells you how to clean them up, and then you oil them and put them together and all so on. So I'm basically going to follow the manual on how to do those exactly. But basically there is a lot of elbow grease I have to go through. I'm going to clean all these parts. I'm going to inspect the oil pump and open these up here, clean up all those surfaces. I will be weeks doing this. Next week I'm supposed to get this the heads from the machine shop. You know, I was lucky that this came out really well, so I'm going to clean that up, and I'm going to paint this too, which I bought paint. I think I bought paint for this. I had to buy a bunch of gaskets. This is all destroyed. There is a gasket here. No gasket, is like a rubber gasket, I guess. This one, you see, is all burned out, and so I had to buy that. That's how it looks like, basically. See? So I have to buy that. Whoa, come on. There. No. There. Yeah. So this is supposed to be rubber, but now it's just it's like a foam thing, but it's cooked, so it's no good. And yeah, so there's tons of cleanup, and there was a lot of corrosion in these things. See that white stuff? So I'm going to clean them up, white brush it really well, degrease it, and I'm going to clear coat them with clear coat for high temperature, so they don't rust anymore, because they look ugly. So yeah, and there's a bunch of seals and things like that. It has to be, you know, it's a mess here. I know it looks really bad, but it's not that bad. There is an organized chaos here. And this is a water pump, and I don't know, you can hear, look, you can hear how bad it sounds. See that? Oh, sorry, no, there, see? Well, this water pump is very loose now, and it has a little bit of play like this, very little, and you can feel the bearing just doing a weird noise. You make it faster, because it makes it. Anyways, it's time to change it. The other water pump is super tight, the new one I have, and doesn't wobble or anything. So yeah, so it was time. And let me show you the timing belt. So this is a timing belt, and you know, when you look at it, seems okay, you know, but you can see those, you know, cracks. Why are you doing this to me? Focus. You see those cracks there? Yeah, so that, you know, is, I guess it could work, but when you turn it over and you do this, look, so that is an old belt, really old, and there's some marks there too. So yeah, this thing was about to snap, I guess. Not about to snap, but you know, maybe 20,000-30,000 K, and yeah, it could have. So anyhow, that's the new one. I got, you know, cables, head gasket kits. I can put those in the descriptions, I think. Yeah, those are bottom and top head gasket plus intake, exhaust, and all that, and the bottom ones for the water, for the old catch, whatever. I forgot. I just don't know. I don't know. But anyhow, that's actually the part number right there. Engine tech is for a Montero 98, I think, and it is a right head gasket. And gasket kit. I mean, there is some additional things that, you know, Delicas don't have, but anyway. And that is the transmission filter and gasket. And yeah, there's and those are the head bolts, brand new ones, because they're yield to torque or something like that, I think it's called. So when you torque them, you know, they stretch, and then after that, that's it, they're useless, so you have to change them. And that is the timing belt water pump kit with everything. including the tensioner. So all that is going to be changed. So this will be a brand new one, water pump, all shiny, you know. So yeah, and all these gaskets and all that, they come in the kit except for this guys here, which I'm going to have to buy. But and the hoses, I put all the hoses over there, and you know, some of the hoses are swelling, so I think I'm going to change all the hoses. So yeah, I will keep you guys updated, up to date, not updated. I don't know. I cleaned it up for about 2 hours, and I put some primer on. It had some light rust, so I cleaned it up with one of these. Oh, Jesus! Where is it? One of these things. You know, I don't know how they're called, but anyways, it's. This is steel. Anyways, I bought a bunch from Amazon. They're really good to get into these crevices and things, and a lot of degreaser. I cleaned it out like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. The problem was that here is like rats build a nest right here, so it was full of rat poop, and from here to there you can see that's the original paint. That's the primer. I put a rust proofing thing. It's called this. I use it quite a lot in many restorations, like that car there. It's pretty good. It's gel, so sticks on vertical surfaces. They have a liquid version for that's this one. Amazing stuff. This thing is really good. I'm one of those people that, you know, buys cars and they're all rusted, every single one of them, except for this guy. This guy had one spot, 3 spots of rust, basically, but very minor. All the other cars I bought, they were completely rusted. I even bought cars that you open the door and the roof will kick because there wasn't any floors. So anyhow, so I learned a lot about, you know, phosphoric acid rust treatments, and I have a sandblaster. I have a big compressor right there with filtering and cooling systems and jingamagoogies things. Anyway, so anyhow, so one of the best products I use is that thing, gel. So I pour it down here because from here to here it was full of rust. I mean, well, rat's poo or mouse poo, pee, whatever, you know, it's really corrosive. So this was all rusted, like big time. Like flaky rust, so not deep enough, but still, you know. So so yeah, so basically I cleaned it up and I washed it many times, and now I put this primer. This is like what is it? Where is it? I don't know where I put it. Oh, here it is. That's rust proofing, rust check. I had it for many years and it was sitting inside. I never leave these things outside for winter, always inside where there's heat. And so yeah, so I painted all. You know, it's not the best. I mean, if I was going to paint a car, it would look like shit, because, you know, I clean it up fast. I mean, this is an engine, you don't see it, but I have black high temperature paint. This guys I use for headers or whatever, this guys here, which I'm going to clean up now. So yeah, so now it's all painted and so on. I got the heads back from the machine shop. It's right here. Heads from the machine shop, they're all ready. Funny enough, there wasn't any warpage. I mean, there was 0.02, I think it was, of an inch, which is nothing basically. But this one, I think, this one, that bolt there, that one, was loose. And at the same time, that one goes here. This area here, where the bolt is, it goes right there, you see? This part was kind of, it had a spot of rust right here, which none of the other areas of the water jacket had. So my guess is that the head, which is the same head that was warped, like I said, 0.002 or 0.02 of an inch, which is nothing, like nothing. Is within the tolerances of of the head gasket, as far as I know. So I think what happened is that it was warped. Maybe around this area too, the bolt was loose, and so air was going in the system through here, from here to here, basically. So that's what I'm hoping there was. Anyhow, I don't believe that the problem will come up. I mean, if it comes up again after I put all the engine together, I will kill myself, I guess. I don't know. I will stop doing any car repairs and I would just do woodworking. I mean, come on. But anyhow, so yeah, so I'm going to paint it tomorrow because I put a lot of paint there with maybe too thick of a coat. I'm going to paint black here. It doesn't really matter, this difference of paint. I was not going to strip it or anything. This is not a car show, so. And I had to put all those those parts together. So I'm going to put the heads after. I already cleaned this surface. I mean, this is clean, and I know that there's some paint there, but I'm going to re-clean this. And it was all already prepped, so very light sand, and it will come out again, and I will be able to put the heads on. The heads are all surfaced and cleaned, so I am going to put the heads after I paint it. When the paint is a little bit dry, I will put the heads on, and basically all the rest of stuff after that is going to be a lot of cleaning. With the heads on, it's easier to put the rest stuff together, and then I know the head gasket is on. Shit doesn't get into the cylinders, which is getting here. You see, I didn't took the pistons out, so I had to cover all that area. So it's a pain to do that. And the other thing, I got cleaned because I sent the what is this thing, the heads to the machine shop. I got this washed in those hot baths they have, and it came out pretty clean, except for that area there, which is pretty easy to clean. But look, it's just almost brand new. So I'm going to put a coat of paint to this thing too. I think I'm going to use Pour 15 for that because it takes a lot of, rust in there. They washed this too for me, and this looks ugly. I mean, I don't like this. This is not a car show, but I like more shine. It's like I'm the opposite. I mean, this guy's crashed it. Come on. I'm the opposite of, the Vice Grip, Derek from Vice Grip Garage, where he gets nervous with shine. I like shine. So I think I'm going to, clean this up better. I mean, take all this stuff out, and I'm going to paint it with some paint that I have for something else, some gray I have, and I'm going to paint it over so that, it's protected, because it was very rusted. I mean, it's aluminum, but it gets pitted and stuff. So it came up pretty clean. What is this? Oh, that's grease. Oh, sorry, here. That's grease. Okay. So yeah, it came up pretty clean. The casting of this thing is ugly. Anyways, what is important is this surface. This is a sump pump, I think. It's before the oil pan. I think it's called sump pump. I think so. I don't know. But anyways, this goes to the block. There's a seal here, which, sorry, I keep doing this wrong. There's a seal here anyways, and so yeah, and of course I have to clean that up. I have to clean a bunch of stuff. So today I'm doing cleaning and painting and that kind of stuff, because I need the paint ready so that I can put the heads on. And as far as I know, I don't know, these rockers here, their lifters thingies, lash adjustment thingy in the back, they're hydraulic, so I don't think I had to do any adjustments. So I think I need to clean this very well and put them back in. That's what I think I'm going to do now. While I wait on that, and then I will put some paint on the other stuff, and that's what I'm doing. Anyways, I will update you with the rest when I put the heads on and so forth. So anyhow, see you guys.